prove that you weren't anti-Semitic or racist because of those clip chimps, bro?
Estás afectando mi juego con tu corona, puto.
Yeah, I ruined it. I spent years on this. Ethan Klein, like, I spent months compiling all of the Redditors' posts to make an argument that this man is anti-Semitic, and he just came out and said it. It's over. All that work. Years of work, and he just tweeted it out.
Está cayendo un bot. Porque no puede ser tan retrasado mental llegar caer tan tarde. Lo tengo acá.
Why do we have to prove this shit as clear as day? Dude is an anti-Semitic. I mean, I think
Pobre retrasado.
There are varying degrees of
Vení, tonto, vení.
people who have information on this process. Like, there's
Vení, tontito.
the margins who might be convinced that I am anti-Semitic with clips out of context. And then there is a ginormous number of people who are out there who just will say it even though they don't believe it themselves. They don't really care about the truth. If you find someone who is in the first camp, then yeah, it's valid to try to explain to them what the truth is.
Yo si es por mí, caigo siempre en el medio. A la guerra.
From the El Salvadorian government that they're not going to torture anyone.
Es que así se entrena también, porque más tiempo luteando que más tiempo luteando que peleando, ¿cuál es el sentido?
Back and forth with Caroline Levitt, the press secretary, and Andrew Feinstein earlier this afternoon.
O sea, yo no sé si juegos, si vos querés lutear.
Talk to her about this new guidance that shows that you need 8 points. Then there are a bunch of different ways that you can qualify points to prove that you are a team.
Hay que entrenar también.
And you
si
can get points alone for a tattoo.
O sea, yo no sé, me aburro mucho luteando, man.
Two separate cases of people.
Luteo, mira, ya estoy bien, boludo.
That criteria, but it was just for one of them, a crown that said mom above it, and another one.
Total, matás uno, boludo, ya está. Todo lo que luteó él, ya está.
That guy had a crown tattoo.
Que lutean los otros, man.
Tattoos with his ex-girlfriend, and they had done that. So those people have been sent to this El Salvadorian prison camp.
Do not get matching tattoos.
Correct. I agree. I'm not very pro-ink, but you can't take away people's due process like that. And I trust the El Salvadorian government to be making sure that they are not torturing people, that they're vetting them properly. They need to be vetted on this side.
Democrats always say this could happen.
It did happen. It's not.
Yeah, what do you mean this could happen? She's giving examples of what has happened thus far.
Could happen. Did you watch the video?
Torturing.
Yeah.
Yes, CCOT, unironically, is a torture slave labor prison. That's what it is. Human rights groups have been criticizing CCOT since its inception. Yes. It is happening. Yes.
Listo, yo me voy a mirar, man.
Do you read the Time Magazine was there when the gay barber from Venezuela who had a crown tattoo that said mom was being processed coming into the El Salvadorian. Oh, am I boring you again? I'm sorry.
No, but you've been talking about this gay barber from El Salvador with some stupid tattoo for weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks, Jessica.
Come on.
That's a person, man. That's a human being. With a life, with friends, with loved ones, with family. And now all of that has been stripped away from him for no reason, literally no reason whatsoever. And the way in which that was stripped away from him was also illegal. He wasn't. The actions of the government is. And he's like, oh, come on, I want to jerk off over the thought of brown people being rounded up, and you're ruining it for me by constantly yapping in my ear about how a lot of these people are innocent.
It's just a gay barber.
Not into you.
He's an innocent guy who got swept up in a deportation, and hopefully we get it figured out and straightened out. But a lot of people in this country, Jessica, get arrested for things that they didn't do, get falsely accused, falsely
I'm
convicted.
also against racial profiling.
That
Yeah, Lemon Towel is correct. Imagine if someone told Jesse Waters, man, shut up about Laken Riley. You talked about her for an entire fucking year, you know? Like, if someone had said that, these people would go to that person's house and kill them, okay? They would assassinate. They would assassinate that person. There would be round-the-clock coverage over the horrific monster that said this thing. And eventually, someone would do a lone wolf-style assassination. Stochastic terrorism.
that doesn't mean used falsely
I'm also
convicted.
against racial profiling.
That doesn't mean you just stop arresting people. That doesn't mean
I
you
didn't say
stop
that. I said
arresting.
just
Yeah, that's not the argument, you fucking asshole. That's not the argument at all. No one is saying, no more arrests, please. Innocent people get arrested sometimes. No. She's saying, once an arrest has taken place, there has to be a mechanism to make sure that this person is innocent or guilty. Otherwise, everyone can be arrested and everyone can be shipped off to the fucking slave camp.
Criminals
their due
because
process.
one guy was arrested who was innocent. It just means you just try to do it better the next time. And I have nothing against the gay barbers. Gay barbers usually give the best haircuts. So we
Interesting.
should bring them back just for that.
That's it.
Anyway, with the administrative error, the Maryland man that was sent to El Salvador prison, J.D. Vance also got in on it. Here's what kickstarted the process. Vance here, mocking John Favreau for not reading the court filing, says the deported man was a convicted gang member. The court filing does not say
Me fui.
that he was denied bond in 2019 over an informant's claim that he was
Mientras
That is
te
not a
quedaste
conviction.
hipnotizado luteando, me fui.
JD Vance, John Favreau says, any comment on this? Marco Rubio, how about you? You just admitted to accidentally sending an innocent father from Maryland to a torture prison, right? And he responded, he reposted that and said, my comment is that according to the court document you apparently didn't read, he was a convicted MS-13 gang member with no legal right to be here. My further comment is that it's gross to get fired up about gang members getting deported while ignoring citizens they victimize. Okay? And then he and the actual fucking court filing does not show what he claims it shows. Kyle Cheney responds, senior legal affairs reporter for Politico, says Vance here, mocking John Favreau for not reading the court filing, says the deported man was a convicted gang member. The court filing does not say that. It says he was denied bond in 2019 over an informant's claim that he was in MS-13. That is not a conviction. The issue is not whether Abrego Garcia was removable. It's that the court agreed he shouldn't be sent to El Salvador. The administration has scoffed at the notion there have been errors in March 15 flight determinations. But here they acknowledge one. Now, of course, considering that this administration also moved forward with the Lake and Riley Act, something that people must understand is that they don't care. They don't
¿Cuánto material y cuánto tenés, boludo? Esto es para saber. Puta, boludo.
else claiming that they're fucking MS-13.
No sé si lo uso igual que vos, boludo, pero 300 no te... Ya está, boludo. La primer pelea ya no vas a usar 300. En la primer pelea los matás y ya está,
Here's
ya
how
tenés
Republicans
900.
are
Man.
defending it. Let's tell the story of Kilmer Armado Abrego Garcia, the Maryland father. Reed, likely member of MS-13. No, he's not. Who was removed to El Salvador, and who the Atlantic and apparently the entire political left are demanding be returned to the United States. First, his detention. He was detained in March 2019 and charged with removability. Abrego Garcia is
Vamos, pero vamos. Si te vas acá luteando ahí una piedrita, avisa.
thus was removable totally independently of whether he was in MS-13.
Uy, ahí está cayendo.
Member of MS-13 only came up against
¡Oh!
bond. The immigration judge reviewed the evidence and found that it showed he is a verified member of MS-13. It did not. And therefore, that Abrego Garcia did not demonstrate that his release from custody would not pose a danger.
Uy, no, están todos yendo a la grieta.
The judge also found that Abrego Garcia was a flight risk, noting his only history of family proceedings pertaining to his traffic violations. Thus, on 2 independent grounds, the judge denied his bond. Abrego Garcia appealed the Board of Appeals.
Estoy con vos.
Confirmed the immigration judge's finding on the dangerousness, thus dismissed the appeal. Fast forward 6 months with a new tactic. Instead of challenging the finding of removability, Abrego Garcia filed a new claim, 1 for asylum, 2 for withholding of removal from El Salvador, and 3, protection under Article 3 of the Convention Against Torture. And what happened after that? We have to Abrego Garcia's in. He's facing imminent removal given the ruling of this first immigration judge. I like that he only posts positively about
No, man, no.
But
¿Cuánto? No. Si caemos en pisos picados, boludo, te cubrís con los muros. Vamos a hacer 1 y 1. Vos elegís un lugar donde caer, yo elijo el otro.
Pues si uno tiene para elegir.
Sí.
Bueno, elige, ope, marca, ope.
Sí, verdad.
Bueno, no. Lo que quiero es lootear algo porque luego pasa esto, te viene uno con lanzacohetes y tiene una ventaja sobre ti tremenda, ¿entiendes? No es que quiera lootear porque me aburra o porque me guste.
No, es que ese tipo tiene una ventaja porque viene de matar varios y ya le sacó todo el loot, está cargadazo, chabón.
No, o sea, no depende. A mí lo que te digo, puedes llegar y en 3 cofres tener todo. O puedes llegar y hacer 15 cofres y tener una mesa. Por eso looteo, ¿no? Porque...
No, pero para 3 cofres te da por lo menos una escopeta y un rifle.
No tiene por qué, brother. Te da 3 escopetas. ¿Y qué haces con 3 escopetas? No te da escudo, no te da...
No, entiendo. Yo entiendo el sentido de lootear, ¿no? Obviamente.
Es hasta tener lo mínimo, un rifle o algo de larga distancia. Una escopeta y ya puedes correr distancia, ya está. El escudo.
Pero ponele.
Y yo porque uso material.
Ya pasar por dos ciudades.
Sí, pero a ver. Es que somos 2 también, ¿eh? No es que estés tu ciudad.
Vamos acá. Apenas se abra uno, ya. Vamos a practicar, vamos a entrenar a la puntería. En esta, después la próxima elegís vos. Usamos la estrategia de juego que vos quieras.
Me voy a las casas de la derecha.
Dale.
they did that. Despite the convenience of Abrego Garcia's claims now being made,
No veo mucha gente cayendo. Uy, sí, no anda.
and despite the lack of corroborating evidence from beyond affidavits from his family. Wait,
Solamente tengo una pistola, Nico.
okay.
Pistola, escudo.
Corroborating evidence. You just don't like the corroborating evidence that exists. Okay, cool. The new immigration judge found Abrego Garcia's account credible. Even after his finding, the new immigration judge could not grant Abrego Garcia asylum claim that was obviously time barred. Ergo, Abrego Garcia does not have legal status in the United States. However, Abrego Garcia was granted a withholding of removal from El Salvador or to El Salvador. That is not a legal right to stay in the United States. Only a legal right not to be removed to one specific country. Any third country would be sufficient. A withholding of removal, as far as I understand, I might be wrong on this, I'm not an immigration attorney,
Ahí voy.
it's a higher fucking proof. Like, it's a
¿Está con gente?
higher standard of proof than us.
Voy.
Es que sin escudo, sin nada, es un tiro y se...
¿Pero por qué ellos tuvieron ventaja y vos no? Ah, porque ganaron.
Que van 2.
Es por la suerte.
Bien, si vienen con escudo, les funciona y les mata, pero luego así, una escopeta
Fuck. getting back to the matter at hand, J.D. Vance responded
Si te tiran
to
una
Kyle
lata
Cheney, a
para usarte,
legal
¿entiendes?
affairs reporter, is apparently unable to or unwilling to look at the facts here. In 2019, an immigration judge under the first Trump administration
Tres cofres y listo.
determined that the deported man was in fact a member of MS-13 gang. He also apparently had multiple traffic violations for which he failed to appear in court, a real winner. That is literally not enough to
Sí.
deport someone, you fucking animal. That's the crime.
No, que estoy con tres.
Aside from allegations that were later found to be erroneous, okay, the crime is failing to appear in traffic court.
O sea, yo con uno que sepa construir, que sepamos construir los dos, a lo mejor gasto 300.
It is telling that the entire American media is going to run a propaganda operation today, making you think an innocent father of three was apprehended by a gulag. Here are the relevant facts. The man is an illegal immigrant with no right to be in our country. An immigration judge determined he was a member of MS-13 gang. He did not. Because he is not a citizen, he does not get a full jury trial by peers. In other words, whatever due process he was entitled to, he received. He edited the original post because he had said that the determination was made under the Biden admin. It had not been. He initially wrote, "Oh, your own fucking Biden admin actually made this determination." Here it is. Here's the initial post. No, this is not the initial post. Where the fuck's the initial post? God damn it. Yeah, here. Kyle Cheney, illegal in 2019, an immigration judge under the Biden admin determined that the deported man was in fact a MS-13. Yeah, also, you're right. Jay Mershon is right. J.D. Vance is not being a dumb fuck here. He's a Yale-educated lawyer. He is deliberately manufacturing consent.
Bueno, voy a caer.
In this case, fucking law.
Caigo, ¿dónde caes? ¿Vos caes? ¿Dónde caes?
Okay? He knows exactly what took place here. He's just fucking lying. He's a dumb fuck
¿Dónde estoy yo?
Biden in 2019, ironically enough. This person replying is correct. He is not a convicted MS-13 gang member. That is a fucking lie. But you can do that. You can lie about whoever the fuck you want. Here's how he was even identified.
No, pero ¿cómo entra, man? ¿Pero cómo hizo para matarme, man?
Convicted of any crime. The only thing he's done is failed to show up to traffic court, chat.
No, hice eso. Pero ¿cómo él hizo para abrir la puerta? Yo le estaba disparando antes que abra la puerta.
Where he says he'd gone to apply for a job. It was his first time and only time in state custody. Law enforcement separated the men and interrogated them about gang membership. They told Abrego Garcia he could leave if he didn't, which he said he didn't have. One of the other men pointed the finger at Abrego Garcia and accused him of being affiliated with a gang that operates in New York, which he's never lived in. That, along with the fact that he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie, the evidence law enforcement said showed he was in a gang. The standard for evidence for a cop to fucking assume that you are a criminal is already low. The standard of evidence for ICE is just you're fucking brown. That's it. I swear to God, that's it. Everything else is make-believe. Okay? I'm telling you right now, they literally don't care. They're like, oh, you're Mexican. Oh, you're El Salvadoran? Doesn't matter. You're Mexican now. That's literally it. You just look Mexican enough. And they will fuck you. The cops already do that for black people and brown people in general. This is on steroids, okay? When his lawyer went to find the police report for the Home Depot incident,
Boludo.
Garcia wasn't even named on it.
¿Vos crees que me bajé el Fortnite ayer, boludo?
The investigator who authored it was suspended. In late 2019, Abrego Garcia won his case and was granted protection.
La teoría la tengo, boludo.
He's from custody. He has had no arrests since. Those are the facts.
Solamente que...
He complains a lot about dishonesty and fake news, and here he is spreading an outright
¿Me toca a mí o no?
Some of the administration he's serving in just mistakenly sent to a third world prison without due process, a staggering level of incompetence. He should be deeply embarrassed.
Sí.
But Abrego Garcia was denied bond. That is because the law requires that judges view ICE allegations as inherently trustworthy when the agency submits someone for deportation. Worse, ICE erroneously noted on its form that Abrego Garcia had been arrested during the investigation.
Que acá sin luchar nos matamos
used to define
a
themselves
todo el pueblo argentino.
as a libertarian Reason magazine lawyer, Reason magazine writer. So he's just a fan of
Ay, caigo en el gris. No, caigo en el rojo, pero en las escaleras de bomberos, en las escaleras de bomberos.
conservative movement that never existed.
En el medio. ¿Caíste en el gris?
Everything else is correct.
Bueno, voy al gris.
Mind you, they're outflanking this. Yeah, exactly. That's what's so crazy about it is that the administrative apparatus that is responsible for mass deportation unironically came out and said, we actually made a mistake. Holy fuck. These guys are literally just trying to play catch up and defend. They are outflanking ICE. They're saying, yeah, ICE is some woke nonsense, actually. This story is fucking insane. It's insane because it's indicative of the attitude that the administration has demonstrated towards their mass deportation policies. It is insane because it's even happening. It's insane that... What? You got banned again? What do you mean? It's insane every step of the way.
Uy, maté uno de cabezazo.
Are you typing with the screen off and audio off? Yeah. In any case, here is Cory Booker.
Deficits in the trillions and trillions of dollars? Or are we going to do something different like John Lewis would call us to do? He would call us...
We're in the final 5 minutes of Cory Booker breaking the record that previously was held by segregationist Strom Thurmond against the Civil Rights Act.
John, don't hate each other.
¿Para qué estás haciendo?
He is now at 100,000 live viewers.
Said this about the presiding elder. Different party, but he showed me an act of kindness during this speech. He and I have talked about energy policy. He has amazing ideas. I want to partner with him. Don't hate anybody. The folks in Birmingham, Martin Luther King, Fred Shuttlesworth,
¿Qué es eso?
Thea Cotton, James Bevel, did they bring bigger dogs and bigger fire hoses to match
¿Nos escondemos en el humo?
things? Match sheriffs. Bull Connor, thank you. Been standing here a long time.
¿Dónde estás?
They were creative artists activism. They called
Libs are going crazy mode over this.
Bueno, avísame si qué hace, boludo.
Dialed in.
Yo me quedo acá.
40,000.
Le mando un teledirigido.
The one
Un teledirigido. Ahí está abajo,
Okay. The one good thing about this is that there is appetite for a lot of people that want to see them do something, anything. Now, of course, this is still, this is
Ahí lo maté.
with no tangible results.
¡Ay, el pendejo! ¡Ay, me puse re nervioso!
Actually, recognize
¡Ay, boludo!
very angry
¡Ay!
people have a
Ve, necesitamos más tiempo en eso, boludo.
and to organize and to mobilize.
¡Ay, boludo!
I do fear that liberals
¡Qué lugar de mierda! Muy apretado.
from this.
but as long as this is a democracy,
¡Ay!
we can still
¡Lo tenía, man! ¡Lo tenía!
people is greater than the people in power if they use their power. The great African-American woman author once said the most common way people give up their power is not realizing they have it in the first place. I've been calling out names, folks, to tell them they have power. I read the stories of Deanna, of Wendy, of Cassie, of Tanya, of Cameron, of Jean, of Susan, of Edna, of Randy, of Dylan, of Teresa, of Pamela, of Sally, of Mike, of Carol, of Rosemary, of Danielle, of Judith, of Elizabeth, of Sandra, Alicia, Maggie, Nigel, Laura, Michael, Robin, Mary, Allison, Ash, Roseanne, Terry, Samantha P, Raphael, Will, Anthony, Sean, and so many more. As I read their stories here, because while we were elected, they are the power of our country. I've made mistakes. We all have. Both parties have a lot of mistakes to account for. The ballast of this country, what will anchor us to our ideals, what will call us to new heights, lift our heads, lift our hopes, what will call us to rise is each other. We need each other. We need a greater love in this country. We need a greater fight in this country. We need a greater determination. We can't act as if this is normal times. These people's stories that I wrote were calling out for help. Senator, help me. I'm in danger of losing my health care. Someone help me. I'm a veteran. Look what happened to me. It's not fair. I fought for this country. Help me, help me. I'm worried about my Social Security. And the rural office I go to is being closed. Help. People calling out for help. And what Americans do when people are calling out for help? They built an infrastructure. Greatest project ever, called it the Underground Railroad, where Quakers, white folks joined with black folks to shuttle people to freedom. What do they do when people are worried and fearful? Called people together from across our country. Let's have a conference. Seneca Fall. What do they do when they face violence? Look at the people at Stonewall.
Bueno, ya está. Con un arma ya está. Tengo todo para matar a alguien.
Who organized? Who won?
Yo tengo más algo para matar.
Dogs are unleashed on us. Fire hoses are unleashed on us.
Me voy a matar.
He's this dude.
I'm getting close to a record, folks.
¡Cabecea la puta! Voy.
There's a room here in the Senate named after Strom Thurmond. Hate him is wrong.
No, it's
Maybe my
okay.
ego got too caught up that if I stood here, maybe I could bring this record. Man who's trying to stop the rights upon which I stand. I'm not here though because of his speech. I'm here despite his speech. I'm here because as powerful as he was, the people were more powerful.
Like, the irony is that Strom Thurmond did that for a specific purpose, right? So that, you know, people like Cory Booker, black people, would never be able to, you know, would never have the same liberties as white people. Like, Cory Booker's doing this right now in this very moment against no bill, no policy. It is so perfectly Democrat Party, like modern day Democrat Party. By the way, Strom was also a Democrat, ironically enough, at Dixie
What
Cat.
did you do? And a good Christian man of faith, simply said, every one of us needs mercy.
Randy Fine
¿Está en el segundo piso los cubitos esos?
Redemption.
against Josh Whale.
I hugged him. We wept. And I looked at the boy.
Damn, they came in fucking close.
Voy.
John,
Le están disparando por otro lado. Ah, sos vos.
Would the senator yield for a question?
sure, it's the only time in my life I can tell you no.
I just want to tell you a question. Do you know you have just broken the record? Do you know how proud this caucus is of you? Do you know how proud America is of you?
Serge Rosario Dawson on Twitter. Cory Booker just asked his
Le
girlfriend
saqué todo el escudo 1.
why his girlfriend likes Bernie more than him. This is the throwing themselves on the railroad tracks they promised? No, it's not, because there's no train. No, this is Democrats throwing themselves, this is Cory Booker throwing himself on the railroad track after the train killed, like, 30 fucking days and then passed by, and he knows there's no new train coming. And it's crazy that liberals are leading this. Liberals are leading this.
¡Ay, qué pasó con mi Klaus! ¡No, no, no! ¡Me cagaron, boludo! ¡Se me clavó!
I don't even like corporate
¡Ay, man!
performance shit Democrats should be doing when there's more.
¡Ay, boludo! No puedo jugar. ¿Ves que necesito más tiempo, boludo? Más pelea, más pelea.
But I think the best way to
No, estoy muy tonto, man. ¡Matado!
guests in the gallery to make a rare exception and let you stand to show your appreciation. I will not constrain.
Dios mío, boludo.
Thank you. I'm Chuck Schumer. I have yielded to a question, and you asked me did I know? I know now. I want to not quite wrap this up yet. I don't want to wrap this up yet. My mom's senator. My mom's been watching. I know Catherine Cortez Masto has a podium in front of her. She can give me a rest. I'd like to go a little further.
Es que primero hay que ponerse pro en el combate, boludo.
I love, and again, I know people are trying to train each other, and all of our media operations, they give the worst images of the people of the other party. But I want to tell you one of the funny tweets my staff gave me is something Ted Cruz said. Is he's around 19-20 hours. He said, maybe I should pull a fire alarm. He's going to break my record. I'm going to pause in a moment.
How is this a filibuster if it's not filibuster? Is it just yapping? Yes.
Sí, hagamos esa. Dale.
So do you hate this stuff? Because I don't know personally.
Ah, como te veas, pero
Annoyed by is
ahí el momento de la verdad.
this is a pure optics play, which is fine. I don't have an
Es que no, bro.
optics.
Mira, mira, mira.
Okay.
Mira, yo soy rubia, puta de mierda, yo soy rubia.
We'll get really excited at this, and we'll go, oh,
Comela.
okay, you've given us nothing, but we're happy that you're at least like wasting energy.
Vení, ni china de mierda.
Not delaying anything.
Mira, te quedas sin materia.
No like bill that he is delaying.
Buah, cura.
And if he goes long enough, maybe he can fucking. Eventually, they're gonna have to pass a bill. He'll delay that.
¡A la guerra! ¡A practicar combate!
Stop the Medicaid expansion. My staff really worked hard to not make this just Democratic voices, to make it people in our country that Republicans and Democrats. You heard mentioned in the speech the Cato Institute, the Manhattan Institute, all people who are honest arbiters saying
No, Manhattan Institute is not an honest arbiter. What the fuck is wrong with you? They are literally responsible for Christopher Rufo, DEI, CRT.
Ah, no sé, boludo.
Institute. Oh my god. You don't have to hand it to the Manhattan Institute.
No sé si es mío, pero creo que sí, fumaban.
Comes to fucking immigration, sure, but Cato's a libertarian think tank. What the fuck are you talking about?
Man, no puedo creer toda la gente que cayó. Vamos, no, atrás.
Thank them. I want to thank Cousin Pam, my family, Cousin Pam, like Chris Murphy was here the whole time. I want to thank Chris.
Es que eso estaba diciendo, me dijiste no, entonces. Estás muy ambiguo, boludo, muy ambiguo. A ver esa ambigüedad, después como te saco ventaja matándote, perra. Te voy a poner en 4, te voy a bailar. Cada vez que te mate te voy a bailar en la cara.
I hope you don't look as tired as I look. Because you look deep, man.
Estás muy ambigua, perra.
Do I look that bad? All right. I want to go a little bit past this, and then I'm gonna deal with some of the biological urgencies I'm feeling. But I'm gonna wait here because I have the power, I have the floor. Somebody has to ask me, perhaps with my mom's state, the way that's supposed to work.
So will the good senator from New Jersey yield?
I don't think it's a net negative. It's a net negative if the Democrats are like, this is the way.
¿Seguir ahí?
Which is a filibuster without any real direction, any bill, okay, and just simply an optics play. Then it's a net negative. It's a net positive if the Democrats recognize popular momentum behind even fucking optics plays like this that causes them to go, okay, we have to resist. We have to resist no matter what. Like, we have to do something, anything. So as it stands, it's net neutral, I will say. It's positive because at least the Democrats are doing something. Holy fuck. But if the lessons that they learn from this, which is likely to be the lesson that we will learn from this, is that we don't really have to do anything. We just have to, like, optically make moves like this, PR moves like this, and say Trump is bad. We're against Donald Trump, but never.
¿Dónde está ese cofre, man?
Have to do it. And I know.
Cofre de hijo de remil puta.
You're such a fucking leftist nuisance, blah blah blah. Like he's doing something bold and brave or whatever. But you have to understand, this should have happened last week or 2 weeks ago. This should have happened. Yeah, everyone is so proud. This should have happened against the continued resolution. That's where they should have filibustered.
Mira cómo juego, mira cómo juego, mira cómo juego.
It's not filibuster, it's just yapping.
To support caregivers and their families.
Mira, se viene, se viene.
And Congress just reauthorized this funding. And now we have a president that has stopped
I'm not the one homie that's too woke, man. I'm telling you actually what this is. I want to add praise and appreciation for Senator Booker.
Se viene, se viene. Se viene el estratega.
Such an inspiration. Yeah, people are that fucking desperate. I look at this, it's symbolic, you idiot. Wait, what?
She died at a time in Las Vegas.
That's what I'm saying.
When there was not enough.
Yeah, I'm the one who's saying it's symbolic. I'm saying it's symbolic.
¿Dónde está el carrito ese?
Pure symbolism, and the Democrats only go after pure symbolism and not direct action. Then it's just symbolism. Why are fucking liberals literally still doing this? After
A ver, para si puedo matar algo acá.
just dig through every orifice of the fucking federal administrative state. What
Voy a
are
poner lanzadera y me voy para otro lado.
this is no in a way maybe it's not as Herculean of a task of Nancy Pelosi kneeling because she is physically incapable of doing such things, but it is an analog to Nancy Pelosi kneeling with a kente cloth. You understand that, right? That's symbolism.
Las Vegas.
Ya fue.
Continue
A ver, ¿dónde está? En el mapa, a ver.
the grant for essential research for so many reasons.
Allá.
We've seen these funding cuts, we've seen mass layoffs, and the impoundment of grants that have already been proved by Congress is a violation of the rule of law, and you have been talking about that for the last couple of hours. President Trump is forgetting that this is personal. It is happening to so many families. So my question, Senator Booker, to you is, what do you think families and caregivers of those impacted by Alzheimer's, how they are feeling about what is happening right now?
So this bothers me for two reasons, and the first you've already mentioned is this is the point of bipartisan work that we do. I talked about Chris Murphy.
Part of Booker's comm job as Senate Dem leadership is to help his Congress gain exposure and traction in D.C. dominated by Trump's GOP seems the mission is at least somewhat accomplished.
Is that some of that community violence
Nobody cares!
work in that bill is being clawed back by a president? There are people in this room, I know so many of you, and I know on the other side, that have done such great work to work with our colleagues to find common ground and get really important programs passed that bring resources to families. And it's being clawed back by a president, not with consultation, not with a hearing, not with a discussion of even why you would target Alzheimer's research. That is a violation of separation of powers. And I wish my Republican colleagues would hold more hearings about that. These are programs that they like. I saw that with USAID. I worked with Marco Rubio on some of that programs and those investments. They're now been cut and clawed back.
Yeah, I wonder why.
So it's a separation of powers issues. It's a defense of the common goals that we share in this community. The second reason bothers me is an article I read out.
You want Schumer's spot so bad? This has to be at least just a little selfish to push for that leadership spot, right? I mean,
it cuts so dramatically what is one of the best taxpayer investment dollars.
he's not filibustering anything, chatters. He's not. He's not. He's just filibustering some bitches, okay? He's not filibustering anything.
Qué oportunos que son, boludo. Ahí están.
Every dollar you invest.
Estoy yo.
I think my analysis of Congress is that every single one of them, even the ones I like, okay, and there's not many.
No son bots, no son bots.
Vultures. Okay.
Esta es la mía.
And therefore,
soy muy bueno.
Work that I analyze their movements through. For me, right now, there's a knife fight behind the scenes in the Democratic Party for who will lead the way in 2028. That's why Chris Murphy is doing what he's been doing. I'm sure he's not very excited about what Cory Booker's been doing as well, because it kind of takes away from what he's been trying to do. And that's why Cory Booker's been doing this. Okay? That's it. It's not the party propping him up. He's using the influence that he has.
Que yo no entiendo, man. Yo no entiendo, boludo. Que se digna en laguearse justo. Ay, boludo, yo no entiendo, man.
Yeah, that's also the reason why Chuck Schumer inserted himself in that last moment to tell him that he was there for the record break.
Tenés que... Allá.
Will it be Democratic values, or will it be the values of the country that's competing with us to beat us, and right now we're giving them a head start? And then the final reason that question bothers me is because my father died of Parkinson's.
No sé, me fui de la partida.
No, I'm saying Chris Murphy probably hates this personally because he's like, damn it, he took the spotlight away from me. I assume always that they're in contest with one another for party leadership.
In Georgia. And so many people here in
and
this
if I was Chris Murphy,
the same experience.
I'd be fucking seething.
We're in a movie theater and my
Did you hear his love for Israel rants? Oh my
said,
God.
You need to take your dad to the bathroom.
¿Cómo se puede hacer eso?
I never imagined the years of my dad as a 2-year-old and 3-year-old taking me to the bathroom that one day I'd have to take him. And so in this Atlanta movie theater, in the middle of a movie, which I was like, okay, it's time for me to do this ritual that so many families know.
So the chatter's asking, yes, he loves Israel. Yes, he fucking absolutely loves Israel.
I'm not seeing any light in his eyes that he's there. I'm just letting him hold me. He's shuffling into the bathroom.
He literally welcomed Yoav Gallant, okay? He personally hung out with Yoav Gallant, the war criminal, when he was in America.
So many families know this, and my ego, I'm sorry, I was leaning over and I'm saying, wait a minute, I'm in a public bathroom, leaning over, I'm buckling another man's pants. Please, please, God, don't let somebody come in. And as if God heard my call, someone walked in. And I hear the person walk, and I'm like, just please keep walking. Go into a stall, please keep walking. And then suddenly I hear the feet walk past me and stop. And then the man turns around and says, oh my God, Cory Booker. And then I look up at my dad, and I see the clarity in his eyes.
¿Cómo es?
There he is. I saw an unmistakable bald head, or balding head. Christopher Murphy.
Qué raro este juego, man. Esto es raro, boludo. Pero qué negro de mierda. Está bueno, boludo. ¿Y dónde están los escudos? Todo ese bosta. ¡Holy moly! ¿Por dónde? ¿Te caíste? ¿Te mataste? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Qué? ¿Ya lo estamos matando? Ah, bueno. Hay que esperar. Me comiste, perra, ¿eh? ¿Qué pasa, puta? ¡Ah! Está bueno esto. ¿Dónde estás, putita de cabaret? ¿Dónde estás?
¿Qué pasó, Open? ¿Te tiras de la casa o qué?
Vení, te espero. Vení mano a mano.
Dale, que tengo encima. Hay mucha gente, yo quería uno para uno solo. Para contigo, yo creo que se puede hacer, pero hay que mirarlo a ver. ¿Dónde está, ratita?
Ah, mierda.
Que hay un montón de gente.
fucking shit, brother! Pero... esto es lo que me hace falta a mí. Yo no entiendo qué pasó, man. Ay, el volumen. Ah, pero... es que no, este juego... voy a tener que cambiar unos ajustes.
Pensaba el niño este de ¿dónde está López? ¿Dónde estás, puto? Buah, cómo lo fundí, chaval. Mucho editar y mucho construir.
¿Te sirve?
¿De qué color es eso, P?
Blanco.
Bueno. Yo no te veo. ¿Cómo estás metido? ¿Estás abajo? Okay.
Yo no te veo. No, sí, estoy abajo. Búscame. Qué raro que no te veo, ¿eh? ¿Qué quiere romper?
¿Qué pasó ahí?
¿Qué me mató? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Me mató otro?
No.
No scope.
¿Qué pasó ahí, López?
No vi nada. No vi nada. No vi ni scope o nada. Vení para acá, pedazo de puta. Cagona perra puta. ¡Pero pará!
Este sí te gusta, ¿eh?
Sí, te adrenalina pura. ¡Uy! ¡Te comiste, avión! Se maté dos primero. ¡Prioridades! Hay que la otra puta. ¡Ah! ¡Coño, paren!
¿Por qué te gente encima así? Lo veo de encima. Vamos a acabar. Tranquilo aquí, tenemos que buscar una que sea más buena, ¿sabes? Ah, el Ope volando por ahí, ¿eh?
¡Ah! 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 ¡Ah!
escopeta
No, mate otro.